I am 8 years old, and I am standing in the auditorium of an old drafty hall that has high Victorian ceilings that was built in the 1800s. And I'm in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, home to, as I said, the Blue-Nosed Tall Ship. I am surrounded by 50 kids between the ages of 8 and 18, and we are all huddled standing together. Everyone takes a deep breath. They all look as horrified as I feel, because the caretaker of the building is explaining to us that hangings used to occur in the very room that we are standing in. And the reason we are so horrified is because we all know that we have to spend the next 2 nights sleeping in this very room. So it's knowing that, that I have to sleep in this room where people have been hanged is just utterly, utterly terrifying. And we're all there. We're there to basically participate in the swim meet competition, and it takes place once a year. We all come together and we swim competitively, and we're the reigning champions, the Bridgetown Sea Kings. So the caretaker continues to explain that the building used to be a courthouse, and that in the winter time, back in the day, when the weather was really cold, they used to, as I said, hold the hangings indoors. Shivers went up my spine as the caretaker continues to explain that the building is haunted by one particular man who was wrongly accused of murdering his wife. He explains that many people have encountered this ghost, and that if any of us are to encounter this ghost, it is very, very important to say, "Jeramiah, you did not kill your wife," so that he won't bother you, or he won't continue to perhaps follow you. Now, I'm 8 years old, so I definitely believe that ghosts exist, and I'm totally freaked out. I mean, I also live in an old farmhouse that was built in the 1800s that has a basement with dirt flooring and an old cellar. And there were definitely occasions when, I would close doors and then later on they would mysteriously appear open. And I would tell my father, and he would say to me, well, if we have ghosts in our house, they're of the friendly kind. So it is later on that evening, and one of the parent chaperones announces that it's snack time. So everybody piles into the main kitchen, which is in a separate room from the auditorium. And I know that traditionally our coach likes to tell ghost stories during snack time. So I'm like, I can't do another ghost story. I've had it up to here, and I can't hear it, especially in this courthouse where these hangings have occurred. So I'm going to go to bed. And so that's what I do. I decide to go to bed. Now, I'm in the main auditorium on my own, and I walk over to where my friends and I have set up our air mattresses and sleeping bags, which is sort of along the wall in an alcove area near a emergency exit. When I walk over to my sleeping bag and air mattress, it raises off the floor to the height of my waist, as if someone has lifted it with his own hands. The blood in my body drains. The hair on the back of my neck stands, and my heartbeat races. And I let out the loudest, blood-curdling scream and the air mattress drops to the floor. And my feet are bare, and I can feel the temperature of the air mattress against my skin, and it is ice cold. I look up, and my vision narrows, and all I can see is the red-yellow haze, as if looking through a bonfire. I bolt, I turn, I run as fast as I can to get the hell away from there, but I don't really get that far because I slam right into a pile of stacked chairs that are along the wall, and I fall to the floor, and I dig my face right into someone's sleeping bag and air mattress, and then I shout into the bedding, "Jeremiah, you did not kill your wife!" And then I hear the footsteps of 49 children, one coach, and 2 parent chaperones come running into the main auditorium to where I'm lying on the floor. My coach kneels down over me and says, "What in God's name just happened out here?" I refuse to look up, and I refuse to open my eyes because I'm really terrified that I might see something that I don't want to see again. And so I am crying, and eventually someone has called my home. So my coach carries me out to the main corridor in this old hall to where the rotary phone on the wall is, because that looks like the 1980s. And my coach puts the receiver to my ear, and it's my mom. And obviously she's concerned. And basically I say, "I saw him, I saw the ghost, he's after me, he wants to get me, you have to come now, you have to come, I am not sleeping here." Obviously I really felt this ghost had it out for me. My coach basically tries to reason with me and says, "Your mom is a 2-hour drive away, it's too far for her to come to get you tonight, it's too late. You can stay at the nearby bed and breakfast with the parents of a teammate of yours who they're volunteering at the swim meet tomorrow." So that is what I did. I slept at the bed and breakfast, and the next day my mom came to get me and took me home. So I was so paranoid when I got home that the ghost of Jeremiah was following me that I couldn't sleep with, or I had to sleep with the lights on for every single night. Eventually, I was able to turn the light off, so I don't think he followed me. But just in case, I need all of you to say with me on the count of 3, "Jeremiah, you did not kill your wife." 1, 2, 3. Jeremiah, you did not kill your wife.